Afternoon. How are we all doing? Microphone's on. Just checking because I normally don't have it on, do I? How are we all doing? Afternoon, Momo, Chris, Ladder, John. Hello, Ryan. The markets are making me go grey. Markets have been making me go grey for about 12 years, I think. Afternoon, ladies. John, US dollar CAD. Is it? Off to the moon. I haven't looked. Certainly is. Off we go. Not a massive move today, but it's certainly parabolic, isn't it? You stick a moving average on that, it's going to be hugging the 9. Let's do that, shall we? Moving average. 9 EMA. There you go. Stuck fast on that 9 EMA. Very, very, very tight trend. Afternoon Road, Andrew. Cookie. You giving me a cookie? I'd appreciate a cookie. Afternoon Fletch. Right, let's have a quick look at the open. This morning's DAX was awful, and I made it worse by taking an additional trade, which I thought was a good idea, and it didn't work out either. So DAX this morning, we broke long. TP on this was literally there. It was about $230 in profit when we got here. And I looked at it and I thought, I wonder if that's going to bounce off the gap fill. And I thought, I'll give it this candle. And then literally within 5 minutes, it was almost back at break even. So I thought, well, I've missed the profit opportunity. I can't take it. So I left it. And it came straight down and stopped me out. Then we flipped short and immediately broke back up. And I thought to myself, seen this a million times, I'll take a break of that high. And I didn't take the trade. So I thought, do you know what? I'll wait until it gets up to that previous high of this morning and I'll short that. Straight up to stop me out. It's been one of those mornings. Just been one of those mornings today. So DAX was not playing ball at all. There's your Dow range in. Short on the NASDAQ already. So I've got an alert system going off that I'm testing at the moment. Just wanted to check if it worked. It did. Received the signal at 235. Correct. Not showing in the open trades. Incorrect. An issue there. Okay. So yeah, there we go. Been one of those days today. Same, DAX stopped out 3 times. Yeah. So yeah, we've shortened the NASDAQ. Gold is too tight at the moment. DAX I'm not playing with anymore. I've got 2 little trades on here. I'm just testing a signal service that I'm setting up. Not just for me, basically. So I'm just taking little short trades just so that these are 0.01, so they're not going to hurt. Just so that I know that it's working. Right, so looking at news today, we've got basically, yesterday we had unemployment change for the New Zealand dollar, bearish, unfortunately for those long Aussie New Zealand. But if you look at Aussie New Zealand yesterday, it actually came screaming down this morning on that negative New Zealand news. So very weird movement we've had on this. But the Aussie New Zealand put out a new spike today. You can see that the volatility in this is ramped up quite a lot. So yesterday we had the news from the Australians. We had a large increase in volatility for about 5 or 6 hours. Then it calmed back down again. We've had the same this morning and it's not really doing anything. So it's very undecided up here, but we are expanding volatility. So there's a chance that might start to come down now. The high, which is exactly where we looked at from that June 2022 high, is exactly where we are. So if we are going to drop, this is where it's going to happen. So watch this very carefully here today. This is potentially your M pattern reversal or potentially head and shoulders pattern going in, or this is leg 2 of the M pattern reversal going in. So watch this one. When that reversal alert goes in on the hourly, that could be the start of the collapse. So just beware. We're at the 2022 high, which is a very, very strong level. We've had non-farm employment earlier, very bullish, but hasn't done anything. The market hasn't moved off of that. I think this is to do with the government figures. We're not getting any data. So I don't think the market is really willing to react on that. It doesn't normally, because it's waiting for non-farm payroll on Friday, or rather it's waiting for the unemployment rate on Friday. May or may not happen. I don't think it's going to be honest, but we'll see what happens. So yeah, that's it really. We've got PMIs coming out at 3 o'clock this afternoon, so we could get some movement off the Purchasing Managers Index. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. Services PMI tends to be much less impactve than manufacturing PMI, because obviously within services you have less purchasing. Just doesn't really have as much impact. So we may well get some movement. That's coming out in 20 minutes. Apart from that, that's it today. Just be aware tomorrow we've got the rate announcement for the pound. No expected change on that. Unemployment claims minute coming out tomorrow as well. Hopefully it will. But yeah, so main news tomorrow is the pound. Trade closed in a loss. There you go, NASDAQ. It works. I didn't really want to get alerted that I had a loss, but I like it that my trade alert system is working. So there you go, NASDAQ loss, stopped out on the short. David, thank you very much for the $10. Thank you very much. Question, the EA with the Trade Manager dashboard, is that published already? Yes, it's already out. So you can get it on the marketplace. Probably better to go on my website. It's already there. So if you go to Trade Portfolio Dashboard, the details of it are up there. When my lightning fast website loads, there we go. So version 1.5 and the user guide, the video about it is there. If you go to EA downloads for Trade Portfolio Dash, these are version 1.5. If you've got it on the marketplace, it's already up on the marketplace. Version 1.5 is up on the marketplace as well. So if you bought it from MQL5 ages ago, before I started doing it all direct on here, I have updated that on the marketplace as well. So there you go. And I've been testing this little strategy out on here. Look, I say testing it out. I've been running the tests on this dashboard on this account to make sure that all the drawdown control and close at targets and everything works. And it's done 61% this week, I should say. So it did 23% last week, 43% this week, that week ending there, 61% in total across these 5 days. We're sitting in 30.62% of drawdown. Oh, another trade just come in. We are short on the Dow. Which sounds like an immense amount, doesn't it? But when you've banked 65%, that's only 50% of what we're in. We're only drawdown by 50% of what we're actually banked. So yeah, I'm liking the dashboard. I've set this running on M1 to just go free with a position trader EA on M1 and just start scaling into trades. Take trades left, right, and center. Just keep banking money, will you? That's what I basically said to it, and it's just doing that. It's just banking money. Great. Go try it. Base drop. Get that trade. Yes, Brian. I can't play it. It's not... I can't play it loud enough. Oh, maybe I can do it on here. No, I can't.
Then I met the master, the guru, the one. Lee Samson's the name. Now my trading is fun. Silly size with
Wait for it.
he owns the IP.
Oh, this isn't the bit, is it?
Don't draw the line. Don't look too deep. The dashboard is waking while the others sleep. It's a cold, break the resistance.
just trying to work out how you get it through the mixer, but I haven't got my PC in the mixer. Oh, it takes for ages to get to the good bit, unfortunately. Anyway, that's in Discord if you want to listen to it. David, awesome, thanks. Any difference between buying it off the website compared to the marketplace? My website's cheaper, and it's just cheaper, and it works. Yeah, basically. So the reason I started putting everything on my website and selling direct is, first of all, I can control the price better. I can do offers, I can do bundles, I can do everything I wanted to do. So you can have the bundle of EAs, which is whatever you want it to be, because you just bundle the products together, basically. So I put them all up there, so you can get the bundle, and you basically say, I want that for MT4, I want that for MT5, I want that for both, I want this for that one, I want that on, that's only available on that one. Yeah, and then it basically gives you 50% off everything. So I can offer 50% discounts for bundles, which I do. And then we've got the members website, where if you sign up for that, £99 a month, you get all the education, you get all the members' live rooms, you get access to everything on the members website, all of this stuff included. And you get 5 licenses for every EA. So yeah, buy it here, it's cheaper, basically. And you can pay by PayPal, which you can't do. So the problem with the marketplace is they've been stuffed since the Ukraine war kicked off, because MQL5 is Russian originally, and it's actually, I think, owned ironically by a couple of Ukrainian Russians. I'm not quite sure, but basically, since that kicked off, they had PayPal removed, and a lot of banks will not deal with them. So they've got sanctions, which means that a lot of people can't actually make a purchase on the MQL5 website anymore. And you can't pay by PayPal. You can't pay by a lot of methods they used to be allowed you to pay by. So basically I thought, screw this. People are just moaning, saying, I'd love to buy it, but I can't. So I do it all through here. And it's cheaper, basically. Because they take a commission, MQL5, from every sale, which is quite a big commission, to provide the marketplace. So what I've done is I've put all the products on my website, and I've removed all the commission. So you get it basically cheaper. There you go. I want to put the tunes back on now. How is 35k? How is 35k is 67% and 27k is 30? That'll be to do with the initial balance. So the initial balance of this account was 57,400. The balance on the account now is 90,000. Okay, so this account started at 90,000, at 54,000. It's now at 90,000. So these calculations here are your percentage gain on your original account balance. This is your drawdown on the total of your current balance. Yeah. So this is active drawdown on current balance. This is closed drawdown or closed profit on starting balance. So if you want to, and what you should do really, is update this every now and again. So update this to, I don't know, probably start the week at 90k, 85 probably. Update it every week. And then obviously these percentages will be more realistic to what you started your week at, but you've got to start somewhere, basically. So I tend to use the starting balance of the account because I'm interested in what my account gain is. Volume up a bit high. Just stopped out of the Dow. It's going to be one of those days today. Markets are really choppy today. Bit confused, I think, markets at the minute by what's going on at the moment with all these big moves. So yeah, I tend to leave it as what my starting balance was because I'm interested in how I'm progressing from my account balance. This is open drawdown on my current balance. Okay. Is your test for the new portfolio dash in M1? In which time frame is the RSI? Is trading on M1 and it is using the M1 21 RSI 6040. So literally what it's doing is, on the 1 minute chart, it's using its own RSI above the 6040 level, which is what I mean by it's getting in at random. So basically every time the market does anything, it just basically goes, oh, short it, oh, long it. It just takes trades at random when it gets to 6040, which obviously it does many times a day. Hence the fact it's sitting in this amount of drawdown on the US dollar Swiss. If you look at what the US dollar Swiss has done over the last couple of days, it's done nothing but that. However, I have to say, I had a glitch where it didn't take any trades. So basically what it's got, it's only in this problem really because of this. It would have made a load of drawdown control on that. It would have also done loads of drawdown control. Actually, it did do drawdown control on that. It would have done some drawdown control there. It would have done a bit of drawdown control there. So it's actually in a much worse situation than it should be because it's screwed up. But anyway. Right, so Dow stopped out. Massive parabolic move to the upside on the Dow. We are now flipped long on NASDAQ. That is not feeding through all trades. Now we just bought the Dow. There we go. That's great. Sorry about that. So there you go. That's how that's working. Right. So just going back to today's news and stuff. That's it. We've got PMIs coming out in 10 minutes. So market quite often before we've got high impact news, half an hour after open, does sit around and mess about for a bit. So ADRs today, there's a fair bit of movement. Australian dollar, obviously we've had the New Zealand dollar news coming in today. So it's had quite a big move down there. Why did you not get out of any of this stuff? Why are you taking 0.01 lot sizes as well? Bet that ran out of margin. Yeah. Couldn't get margin on, look. We're getting margin called. So haven't been able to take the correct lot sizing on this, which again is not going to help, is it? But yeah, anyway, Aussie dollar Swiss ADR hit to the downside today, straight down and straight back up again. So we came off of 125 ADR, 5 minute or 15 minute reversal alert. 15 minute reversal alert was kind of halfway through the move, so not great. 5 minute reversal alert was roughly there. So again, not particularly great or easy to get into today on that one. Aussie dollar yen also extended to the downside. Again, bounced straight back up again. We've also got movement euro odd, so Australian dollar basically on the move today. So euro odd hit to the upside, back down again. Euro Swiss has also been on the move today. Basically just bounced straight off of ADR on that news there. So yeah, loads of ADR hits today on Swiss and yen, particularly being manipulated today, kind of safe havens. So we've had some money coming out of safe havens from the Swiss and the yen today. So pound Swiss moved to the upside, weakness in the Swiss, but obviously that looks like it's changing now as well. Same with the pound yen, that's basically the same as the euro yen move. So good move there. ADR hit to the upside. That one actually is a signal right now. There you go. So there's ADR. There's your M pattern reversal. Straight in. We've also got the New Zealand CAD ADR reversal here. Didn't actually work out, that one. It did get you half an ADR basically. So yeah, it did work out. But very spiky, very odd price action we've had today. New Zealand Swiss, again, another one. Oops, why are you not updating? Another reversal. So the initial alert that went in at ADR was there. So that was your first reversal alert here. And it didn't really go anywhere. It came up just about, made a new high, and then gave you a tighter reversal there. That entry there was very nice. But either of those would have given you half an ADR-ish. New Zealand dollar yen, again, very whippy with that yen. So difficult to get signal on that. And same with the US dollar yen. So US dollar's rallying at the minute. not particularly strongly. So we'll see what happens when these PMI numbers come out. It could well be, terminal seems to have frozen up. Big reversal going on US CAD. Look. So yeah, we might get some movement. That's a lovely reversal alert just started. 15-minute reversal alert is just about to go in on that. You've basically got this new low is basically the same as the high. 5-minute might have already gone. Yeah, 5 minutes already happened. So watch this hourly reversal alert just about to go in on the US dollar CAD. This whole move here needs a profit take. That propulsion gap looks good. We've obviously got many propulsion targets to the downside. So if those PMI numbers come out down today, we could well see a fairly big drop coming in the US, which means we'll probably get a pop in the indices. Indices are already popping. So I'm just going to take another quick trade here. This is only a mucking about trade on the DAX. Do not do this. Just want to make sure the signals are still working. I'm just testing different instances, basically. So yeah, long on NASDAQ, long on Dow. But we have stopped out, obviously, once on both of these already today. So these are paying for those shorts. DAX. Big strong move to the upside. Hopefully this is the top for Aussie New Zealand. Yeah, hopefully. ADR on the DAX. DAX just hit ADR. So DAX going for that gap fill. When I took that short today, here, I was like, this is either going to be exactly the right spot or exactly the wrong spot, because we're going to do the gap fill. So it was exactly the wrong spot. It's always going to be one or the other, isn't it? 50-50 chance every time you hit the button. Yeah, so DAX looking like it's going for that gap fill now. RSIs at the moment, US dollar CAD is your far away winner. Hourly RSI extension to the upside embedded, and that is the hourly, yeah. And the 4 hourly, we are up at territory we don't get to very often. Yeah. So if you look at this area that we're at now, we are reading 87 on RSI, roughly. We've only been here twice in the last year, basically, going back to October. This is going back to October last year. So this is an entire year you're looking at here on the 4 hour. Go for it. Remove those threats. So yeah, this is, we've only been here, there, and here, which actually went into an accumulation. But I mean, you had a million opportunities to get out before that craziness, before Trump got in, basically. So pre-Trump, we've only had one, and the market obviously didn't want to do anything in December because it knew Trump was coming in, so we got nothing. We had that pullback there. We did touch it there as well, and we did touch it there as well, which you got a little bit of a pullback on. But either way, it's in the speed that has got there this time. Yeah. So it's akin to that, isn't it? Yeah, and look what happened after that. What happens every time we get a parabolic move? What happens, members, when the elastic band gets stretched? Same thing over and over again. So beautiful short opportunity in propulsion, but this is not a great propulsion gap here. It's quite an old one. So we have got a nice resistance coming up, which has been tested multiple times. So that's roughly 125 ADR. So if we can get any more stretch on that today, if we get to 125 ADR, you're also going to be hitting a previous price point that will start setting alerts off all over the place. So we'll get some action coming in off the back of that. But that is obviously your big one. 89.46 is the peak we've had on that. So that's, 90 4-hour RSI, 90 10s, pretty much 100% strike rate. So you just don't get them very often. You can't live on this as a market condition because it just doesn't happen often enough. But when we do get it, you want to get in. You've got a few other RSI extensions, but not particularly strong. This one, New Zealand dollar, US dollar. was extended much lower. So we got down to 10.23 on that kind of yesterday. When was that? 8 o'clock. Yeah, so it's last night. So last night that basically hit, the absolute low. Obviously, we've started that push up now. So that pattern that you see there on a 30-minute, 15-minute chart is a W. Get words out today. It's a W pattern reversal. Yeah. So this is potentially leg 2 going in now of that 15-minute. 30 minutes probably a bit clearer. Okay. So 30 minutes. So this is that price action we've seen since last night is the start of that left-hand W. Yeah. So potentially here we're looking at the reversal and pullback on this leg, which is the last sort of week's worth of price action. So watch this 2-week low. Last week's low kind of coincided with that level, but I think this was more of a coincidence than anything. It just took ages to get there. We did accumulate for about half a day and then we collapsed through. So this thing's absolutely parabolic, stretched to hell. So that 200% ADR move to the upside there is a 50% retracement. If you're going to be super cautious with it, you're looking at a flag break, which would be a 23 retracement there. If it's going to continue down, that is going to need positive news on the dollar, which is about to hit in 1 minute. We'll watch the indices when that PMI comes in less than a minute. So yeah, Aussie, New Zealand we were looking at, weren't we? But I've already covered the Aussie, New Zealand. Lucius. We are at that exact point that is that high. Oops. Sell on gold just gone in. Come on, just tap that partial line for me, will you? It's going to be one of those days today. The DAX, right? I'm not joking. The TP line on the DAX today. Wrong terminal. Why is everything so slow today? Nothing's working today. It's not there anymore. But anyway, yeah, the TP line on the DAX today was literally sort of there. Yeah. And it missed it by a gnat's whisker. NASDAQ possibly going to do the same thing to me. We will see. Looks a little like last year. Insane push incoming. Who knows? Could be. We're approaching December. We're not approaching December, in November, but December, the sort of four weeks before Christmas is where we tend to get the Santa rally starting, if we're going to get one, on the stock indices, which starts the decline of the US dollar. So we quite often see a decline in the dollar before Christmas. But we'll see. Stop loss has triggered on the NASDAQ because it's so damn close to that target. This is driving me nuts. These terminals are not working today. Okay, I've just taken a partial on one of my accounts, just in case. It's an inside bar at the moment on the news. So the news is not particularly impactful. I can tell that the news is kind of as forecast because we're not doing anything. Got it yet. Check Forex Factory. 52.4 on a forecast of 50.7. So it's slightly up, but not massively up. So it is better than expected for the dollar. So that would potentially be slightly weakening for indices. See where we go. You prefer RSI period 10 and 21 more than 14? No real preference. I just use those. My back testing has shown me that it doesn't matter what you use. You could pick any number RSI and it will work. Some are faster than others. All that happens with position trading, with different condition indicators. We've done loads of stuff on indicators in the members group, in the bootcamp, basically, in the academy. I'll stop calling it a bootcamp. In the MST Academy, we've done lots of stuff on indicators. All indicators are telling you is that there is a condition in the market that has been met. Whether the indicator gives you a signal there, or there will depend on the number that you input there. They're all going to give you a signal short at some point because they are oscillators that tell you the market has gone up or down. Yeah, doesn't matter which you use. You use what you like. If you do back testing, the best way to do back testing with indicators like the RSI, is to stick an RSI on your chart and then stick another one on your chart and then stick another one on your chart, right? And look at price. Look at what happens with price. And like, I wanted to catch, I'm not looking at this move here. Let's say I wanted to catch this move down here, right? I wanted to catch that long. Which of these indicators would have given me the best entry if I was losing a 20 and an 80 level? Which I've, funnily enough, got 70-30 set up on the other two. But anyway, so if I wanted to catch that, this one would have triggered there. Absolute pinpoint accuracy. This one would have triggered there. This one wouldn't have triggered on 20. This one wouldn't have triggered on 20 either, I don't think. Let me actually put these levels on there, shall we? Let's do it properly. Okay, so on this move here, I got a signal there right at the beginning of the week to go long. This one didn't give me a signal. This one just about hit it. So which of those three RSIs is the best? Yeah, these two didn't give you a signal. This one did. Now, if it had given you a signal and the market had done this, you'd say that this one or this one is the best, because this one got you in too early. But in this case, that was the best one to use. So depending on how fast the market moves, how far the market moves, and how long it continues to push for, either the 10, the 21, or the 14 will be the best one to use. But unless you can tell me how fast something's going to move in the future, none of these you can pick are the best one. So just pick one, use it. It will give you signals when it gives you signals. When it doesn't give you signals, it doesn't give you signals. It got you into a long there. It didn't get you into a long there. It did get you into a long there. So in this case, the 10 or the 14 would have been good, but you shouldn't be using a 21. But in this case, that one did and that one didn't. Neither did that one. So probably I would say the 21 RSI on the 4 is probably not the best thing in the world to use, is it? However, the 21 on the 4 got you in there on this move down. On the 14, it got you in about here. On the 21, it's just about to get you in here. So which is the best on this move? The 21. The 10 got you in too early. The 14 got you in better, but this was the absolute star, the 21. So here, this was the best RSI. Here, this was the best RSI. This one was pretty good on both of them. You decide. I don't know. At the end of the day, you pick what you want to use, but there isn't a better, there isn't a worse, there is different. That's the only thing you have in trading. Stuff is different. Stuff will give you different signals at different times. What you're doing when you're position trading specifically is you're entering the market in a direction at a point when you think there's a chance it will pull back. Whether it does or not is nothing to do with you. It's not in your control. So you just get in when you fancy it. If you don't like using the 80-20, then use the 70-30. You'll get more signals. The lower that number is, the more signals you get. The bigger that number is, the less signals you'll get. Just different. It's not better or worse. That was a lovely exit. So out the NASDAQ long. So I'm just going to take another one. I like it. I'm just making my little thing ping. I'm just mucking about on this, by the way. It's not real. It's only a 0.01 lot. It's going to literally lose $10, if that. So long is working out on Dow. Gold short has stalled out. Dow target, let's have a look at where we're going. Upside on the Dow. So you're at the New York session high. If that gets taken out, we have the close of Monday, which is potentially going to be a sell point because we've got a small gap we didn't complete there. So there is a gap fill opportunity there, and there's also a previous support. It does look like at the moment it's rejecting yesterday's US session highs, though. We're not able to get through there at the minute. NASDAQ upside today. The Globex gap got filled. Yeah, there's loads of room. So we're running into this area here at the minute, which is previous sort of support from yesterday, which we did manage to get through, turned into resistance towards the end of the day. So we know there's sellers here because they broke back down through that level, but they did get bought back up again. So this could go either way from here. If it breaks through, we're probably going to test the US session high, which is the low from Friday's US market. So it's either going to reject this area here, and we're just going to put another leg down, or we're going to break that area and push up into there. Gold could go anywhere because of the US dollar. So short target on gold, if you're trading gold, is yesterday's low. Upside target is miles away. Look. So it's quite nice price action on gold today. If you look at where we opened yesterday, we basically pushed down, pushed back up again, and then closed all the way down here. So we had a strong close candle yesterday. So that is your, I can't draw properly today. There's your open. There's your close. So that is basically yesterday's candle. Huge bear candle. And what we're doing at the moment is we are an inside bar on yesterday. So this is an indecision candle contraction. So we're waiting for this to break up and test this level, or break down and test this level. So these are the two levels in play today because we're an inside bar. So we're either going to end today as an inside bar, or we're going to end today as a bull bar or a bear bar. So could go absolutely anywhere today. Either direction. Okay, so stops locked in there. See where we go. 52.4 on ISM. Not sure if I trust these numbers. I wouldn't trust any numbers at the moment, to be honest. Not until they get this lockdown. This shutdown sorted out. It's just not happening, is it? So we're expecting to get the unemployment rate. But as you can see, it's all still in as tentative. Non-farm payroll and unemployment for Friday. Something's got to give at some point soon, isn't it? How long have we been in shutdown for? October the 1st, was it really? So that's 34 days now. I think the last one was 30. Was it 2018, wasn't it? Should have typed that in properly. When did US shut down 218 last? How many days? Typing like an absolute idiot. Hopefully, I'm hoping they're just going to figure out what I want. I just want to know how many days it was. 36. Okay. So this is now the longest in history. Okay, so 36 is now. So this is the longest. So the last one was 35 days. Oh, there you go. So this is now longer than the last shutdown. So, you know, we're getting to the point, I think, where hopefully they'll agree on something and they'll get stuff moving again. But at the minute, I don't think you can trust anything that you see the dollar doing at the moment, because the markets have got no confidence really in government spending or anything. So it's going to throw all their budgets out. It's going to throw everything out. Absolutely everything. So yeah, we'll see where we go. Just checking if take profits work. They do. Sorry, I love testing these systems. Trouble is, I can only test this live. I'm setting up an alert system basically, which I might roll out onto the members website. But I'm just want to test it in live circumstances. It's all right testing things when the market's all quiet, but what you want to do is you want to test things when it's troublesome at the open, with this high volume coming through, when things don't want to work, basically, is when you want to be testing things properly. So we're rejecting that area to the upside that I said about on the NASDAQ. So we might find that we stall out a little bit here. So we're either going to pull back and continue, or all they wanted to do really today was the gap fill and retest this area from yesterday. And then we're going to shoot short. So have got a sell stop in place if we go short and test the lows. But we'll see. We may well try and break higher. Anybody got any other pairs they want to have a look at all? So Aussie, New Zealand, for that person, we're up at this previous high. So this is your 2022 high. Exactly where we are now. And the market is looking like it's stalling out here. So we've had a 2-day increase in volume here. However, I would say that the 2-day increase in volume is to do with news on the Australian and the New Zealand dollar. So this expanded volume that we're seeing here, is actually Australian dollar news and New Zealand news from last night. So normal price action and an expanded volume. But we are expanding volume here as well. So what happens at the end of a bull run or a bear run is you tend to either get a spike and then it just retraces. So you get exhaustion gaps at the top where the market just has got no one else up here selling. So it has to reach to fill orders and becomes uneconomical to carry on buying. So we take profit. Or we get an expansion in volume where we get the iceberg orders hitting this thing, and an expansion in volume trying to get through there and add more size, which can't. So it causes more volatility in the market. So that's exactly what we're seeing right now. So potentially this is your rollover getting underway. But I would say if we break that high again, the market's going to need to spike to really exhaust. So whenever you get to a previous high, it's never a line. It's always an area around price. So the market will react around this area. It will do price discovery above the previous price to see if there is willingness to go higher. If there isn't willingness to go higher and there are no sellers up here, it will give up and it will come back down again. And that's why you never see really price hitting the exact price every time. It hits the area and we test price discovery levels around it to see if we can go. If we can't go, we will do the opposite. And if we do, that's going to be the mother of all profit take moves, because you're looking at taking profit on this entire leg. All you got was this flag break, which I'm not even sure was a 23 retracement. I don't think it was. I don't think it was anywhere near a 23 retracement. Well, it was actually, yeah. It was exactly a 23 retracement. So we did get a 23 retracement, which is a typical flag break. So there is an argument for a continuation, but there's also an argument for not. 23 retracements I find are very unreliable most of the time, especially at the end of a trend. If you get them at the start of trends like that, they are kind of strong willingness to continue buying. When you get them after a move which has lasted like this, which is what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, about 18 weeks old, this market's exhausted, absolutely exhausted. So when you get this, it's quite often the start of that drop coming back down. But we have burst through that level, but we've burst straight into that strong resistance to the upside. So if you're in this Aussie New Zealand, fingers crossed. And if you need to do aggressive drawdown control, today is the day when you want to get it in. Dow's coming back inside range. So we've got this propulsion gap here at the moment. So if we are looking for the market participants that started this move to continue this move, we would expect them to add size here in the middle of this gap and push ourselves back to the upside. Central flag forming on the NASDAQ as well. Could go either way today, though. Pound US dollar, New Zealand dollar, US dollar. Pound US dollar. Very nicely extended on the 4 hour. So again, we're down at levels we don't get to very often here. Say not very often. We've been there twice in the last 12 months. In the last 6 months. Sorry. So yeah. That trade there, you can see that I took off of this extension. There's an entry there, entry there, there. That didn't work out. That was a flag break short. So if you were in from here, you'll have scaled in. What's an ADR? Probably in 4 to 6 positions from there, here, somewhere around here. So you're looking at getting out on that leg. This propulsion move in the middle, which is this previous 2-week resistance to the upside, that'll be your target. Good entry, long. Nice extension below 20 on the hourly there. But it's stuck, isn't it, today? So dollar, again, we're not sure what's going on with this dollar at the minute. Government shut. Policymakers are not making policy. Banks are making policy. But yeah, so it looks good for a long to me. Here. Worst case scenario, it's that leg, isn't it? Best case scenario. Yeah, so that you're going to need more than a 50% retracement. That you're going to need just under a 50% retracement. New Zealand US, again, nicely extended. 4 hour. These levels that we're at, you don't often get moves where it doesn't pan out from here. Yeah. you're going to get at least that, at least a flag break, at least a 38 retracement on that, I would say. Maybe a 23. So always look at the worst case scenario whenever you're in anything. I'd rather be long in this right now on this W pattern that's forming here on the lower time frames. We looked at this, didn't we? The 30-minute W pattern that's just gone in. If I'm looking at worst case scenario, so let's say I'm in it from here. Worst case scenario is a 23 retracement into that propulsion gap. Yeah. Or a bounce out of last month's low, which is somewhere between the 23 to 38 retracement. If it does a decent retracement, we're going to get 38 out of it. If it does a strong pullback, it's coming back up into the 2-week low and last week's low, which is that propulsion gap, which is a 50% retracement. So worst case scenario, slightly better scenario, normal scenario, it could also reverse all the way back up. Yeah, depends what that's going to do, doesn't it? But you've had negative news on the dollar, on the New Zealand dollar, and what's happened? It's rallying. So to me, this looks like an absolute exhaustion, because if that negative New Zealand dollar that we had overnight was going to affect the dollar, New Zealand dollar negatively, this morning you'd be an ADR down. You're not. What it's done is it's pushed down today and sat around. So there's no more interest in selling the New Zealand dollar at the minute. So that 30-minute reversal alert that you've had and retest, look at those tails. Yeah. So we've got to exhaustion. The news has come in about the New Zealand dollar being negative. It's spiked and it's pushed up. We've rallied back to where we bought from, and they've added twice. Yeah, if we break through this propulsion gap to the downside and we break through that propulsion gap, which is the high of the day, you've got a completed W pattern reversal. Market's going to see that and it's going to jump on board the new trend. Good. Get rid of the fib. Deletes every line on the chart apart from the one I want to delete. I'm long pound CAD and pound US with 2 positions each pair. That's fine. You're not even in anything, are you? You're in a couple of trades. That's fine. Don't start worrying about trades being in drawdown until you're in 4 or 5. That's when you need to start looking at it and thinking, might need to do something about it at some point. But right now, if you're in 2 positions, fine. So, I mean, that's the target to the upside. That propulsion move that broke these lows, that's where you're going to hit the next batch of sellers. So, assuming we are bottoming, when we break that high up into here, that's where I would get out. You're likely to find everyone that was long here, yeah, got in there. They got run over. So they flipped short there. So they're now all protecting short positions from this area. When we get back there, they'll want to add into those shorts. Assuming that the market conditions for the pound and the CAD are the same when we get there, that's exactly what will happen. So that will be your market structure. Possibly. Not really anywhere else for this to go, is there? If it's going to go down, looking at this here, 200 ADR. So if you're in 2 positions on this now, you'll be in probably 3, 4 by the time you get here. And then you'll be looking at trying to push back into this area here, or a 50% retracement on that leg that will be put in back up into this monthly low. We're off on the NASDAQ again. So testing higher day. Dow. Oh, look at that. Thank you, Dow. Did not stop me out. Just make sure my other account didn't get stopped out. Nope. Still Dow long. Gold short is not working out, unfortunately. It is one of those days today. It's just chop fest, isn't it? New trade. Okay. So testing higher day, NASDAQ. So if the NASDAQ pops, we should get a move on the Dow as well. Big if though. Struggling a little bit here. We get that pop. Coming up to the 30-minute candle now. So the third TPO going in. Sorry, second TPO. Candle. So second 30-minute candle is about to close in 1 minute. So we're closing at the high of the 30-minute candle. So very, very bullish on a 30-minute chart. So if traders watching the 30-minute charts will be looking at this as their second 30-minute close, just as it pulls off the top look. But yeah, bullish. So we closed bullish for that first 30 minutes. Higher high, higher low. Trying very, very hard not to close above that high. This is why you wait for candles to close before you make price action decisions. Literally 1 minute ago, this was looking massively bullish. It's just retraced in less than a minute, pretty much 25% of the entire move of the entire half an hour. Just gone, wiped off in that last minute I've been talking. Yeah. So that now has closed at the highs. That to me is bearish because it's saying buyers tried to push through today and we couldn't actually get past the last batch of buys. Sellers are in control. Yeah. So we see where we go next, but that was a big, strong move by the sellers there. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a 3-bar reversal form off the back of that. We'll see where we go. That big, strong rejection. Difference a minute can make at the end of candle. At the end of every candle, every hourly candle and 30-minute candle on stock indices, there's a lot of traders watch 30-minute and hourly charts, especially institutional traders, because they're trading TPO charts, time price opportunity charts, which are 30-minute broken down candlesticks. And that shows you that they are selling the highs at the moment. So if we're going to go into rotation today, they will come back down and they'll try and retest the 30-minute lows. Rotation all day or session, they won't break that area. But if they do, we'll be off for the next 30 minutes. So if we're going to put in a new thing, you've got to think about every candlestick. What are the outcomes of this candlestick going to be? So this candlestick can only do 3 things. It can be an inside bar. It can be a higher high and a higher low, which means we're going to push up here. Or it can be a lower high and a lower low, which means we are going to push down here. So if they are going to go higher high, higher low, we've got to break that high. If we're going inside bar, we don't have to break that high, and we also don't have to break that low, which forms a symmetrical triangle pattern on a lower time frame. Ready for a breakout. Bullish on the hourly still. Right, I haven't got anything else to discuss today. So I got a little bit of bearish movement coming in on the DAX. Gold's going to stop out. Gold's being a cow today as well. That DAX move, if I'd have taken that trade that I wanted to take, which I got distracted and didn't take, that was the trade of the day, unfortunately. Because I missed that trade, I decided to take a mean reversion double top, which was totally the wrong trade of the day. That's the difference between making money and not making money. Every decision you make is binary. If I'd have been more focused on my charts at that time, at this one candlestick here, yeah, and I'd taken the breakout that I planned to take, I'd be in massive profit today. Because I wasn't focused at that point, something was happening. I was doing something and I can't remember what it was, but I wasn't focused. I missed the trade and I thought, okay, I've missed the breakout. I'll take a mean reversion at the double top. That is the difference between profit and loss. Decision-making process at a specific time of candles. That's it. You have no idea which way the candles are going after you've taken that decision, but you've got to make a decision which is binary, up or down, at a point in time. Simple as that. That's all it is. Maths. We are attempting a new high of the day. Got 2 minutes. So we're inside bar. Bullish at the moment. Gold is not stopped me out, which is nice. So we might get that on today, but we'll see. If these guys rally, then typically you'll see quite often gold do the inverse, but we are stalling out on the DAX as well. Very indecisive day. See how we get on. Right, so those are the trades I'm leaving on. So if I do stop out on gold short, I will flip long gold because I'll be anticipating a new higher day going in. That is the only trade I've got on the Dow. So either that's going to work or it's not. NASDAQ, I am not going to take a short on later because I won't be around to monitor it. So I'm not going to take that. That's already locked in. That's already partial profit. It is stalling out really hard up here. It's really, really struggling to get through those highs. There's an argument for just taking it off, to be honest. In fact, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to move my stop loss up, lock in another 50% underneath the low of that candle. This little wick down here. If this is basically a little wick stop run on this area and they're taking it away, then having a stop loss here or here is irrelevant, isn't it? We're not going to come and test this area again. If that is a stop run and we're going higher, they won't be coming back down here. So I might as well stick it there because they've already run these stops. So it's either going up or it's not. So I'm going to lock in a little bit more profit on it. Don't hold up much hope today. It's all over the gaff, isn't it? Zoran Mamdi or something has just won something. Reading news. Right. Damn consistency rules. Bunch of bolaks. Consistency rules. I know they're very annoying, aren't they? On one of my Take Profit Trader accounts, I had a... Which day was it? Was it Monday? It was the day I caught that big move. I put it in Discord. I think it was Monday. I let that run on my E8 account, and I also had the trade running on my Take Profit Trader account. Take Profit Trader, or was it something else I was running on? Was it just E8? It was one of my E8 accounts. I can't remember. Anyway, one of the accounts I had it running on with a consistency rule. So I don't think it was E8. It wasn't E8 because it got consistency. It ran over $2,000, and I was like, oh! And as soon as I saw it, I was like, I can't have it because it's too much money. They won't give it to me. It's too much. Consistency rules. Utter rubbish. Anyway, they are good for a reason. Yeah. So they stop you going full tilt, but they also stop you making the biggest amounts of money you can. In my book, if this takes off today, right, and it just suddenly decides to go 300% of ADR, am I going to go, oh no, I better shut that because I want to be consistent? Or am I going to let it go to 300 ADR and just make a ton of cash? There's no trader on the planet that's going to go, oh no, I better be consistent. Is there? Prop firms, they love us. They love us. They give us lots of rules. That's why, because they love us. Dow's stalling out. DAX stalling out. We're really stuck here. I think this is going to stop out in the rest of this is going to stop out in profit. So I can't see it today. We're not getting anywhere, are we? It's going to be a rotation day, so just be careful. Probably not a bad idea to start selling the DAX if you want to. This is parabolic, 150% of ADR. You at least come in to test that area. If not, you come in to test there. So if this is going to continue bullish and fill that gap, which it's got, it's going to pull back. It's going to pull back into there before it finds more buyers. Probably pull back into there before it finds more buyers. But that is your open. That's your high of day. So let's say, for example, we close as that sort of candle. You're going to come back into here and push back up again. Who knows, though? This thing's just not going anywhere, is it? Pointless. Go and do something else. Right, I'll be back on Friday afternoon. MST members, we are on... What did we do? So today we did lot multiplication and martingale, looking at the impact of that on position trading. 80 minutes that went on for. Longer. I had that down as a 20-minute session, I think. 80. The average ideal position is what we're covering on Friday morning. So Friday morning, 9 o'clock for members. We're covering that, which is part of the position trading bootcamp. We're down to here now. So that's what we're covering there. And then next week, we're going to possibly finish it off. I might try and put an extra session in next week just to get this done, because we've only got 4. Got this one on Friday. Then we've only got 4 left. I'm going to look at the strategies next week. So yeah, it's all the exciting stuff next week. Yeah, drawdown control, indicators again, but strategies. That's what everyone wants. Everyone skips to the strategy sessions, don't they? They go, oh, "What's the strategy?" If you skip to that session and you don't watch any of this lot, nothing will work. Yeah, watch this first, then watch that, because you need to know more about news. Then watch all of this lot. Do not skip to that one. Somebody did it in the day. Somebody said today, didn't they? When we were in that lesson, they asked a question about something covered here in this one, which is a free one, is also on YouTube. Yeah, they asked a question about what was in there. Oh, I haven't watched that one yet. What are you doing here then? There's an order to things. There's a reason. So yeah, back on Friday morning, 9 o'clock, and then back 2:30 on Friday afternoon, and we will cover the rest. Trying again really hard. That wedge. If that goes, that's going to go. Really, really trying, isn't it? But it's really meeting a very large iceberg order that is just not letting it through. If that pops, it's really going to pop, I reckon. There's a billion stop losses are going to get triggered right there. There we go. There's the pop. We're through. Right. We're off. Okay. So there's your NASDAQ highs. So either that is an exhaustion pop and we're going to collapse straight back down again, which is also a possibility, or we're going to come and test that session high. So loads and loads of upside. But if this suddenly does that within the next 10 minutes, that pop was exhaustion and the iceberg basically ate the lot. So look. It's not, is it? It's an iceberg. Not getting through there. It's fun, isn't it, watching the fights? Anyway, so yeah, make of that what you will. It's going one way or the other, isn't it? I'll be back Friday. Anything you need, let me know. I'll be in Discord or Telegram. Other than that, have a good day, and I will see you next time.